fine.
The terrifying ordeal of actress Sharon Stone. Sure, she can joke about what happened now, but if it weren't for a cell phone, a hero husband, and some quick-thinking firefighters, this story might have had a different ending. David Jackson has the details of Sharon's brush with death.
September 25th at 6:24 p.m., Station 13 of the San Francisco Fire Department receives an emergency call.
We got a call for a stuck elevator, and that's fairly common.
But there was nothing common about this particular SOS, as firefighter Keith Baraka found out after arriving at a nearby high-rise building. When he got to the scene, he immediately ran into Phil Bronstein, husband of Sharon Stone.
The first thing I noticed was Phil Bronstein on his phone as we were walking in. I was like, this is kind of strange, and he was on his cell phone, so I walked in. I was like, I wonder if it's, if it's who I think it is.
It was, because one of the two people stuck in the elevator was none other than Sharon herself.
It's like, wow, what's going on here?
What was a pretty routine evening in the life of a movie star had turned into a harrowing and very dangerous time. The 40-year-old Stone had left her 37th floor apartment all dressed up and headed to a celebrity benefit. But as she told Jay Leno on The Tonight Show, she soon found herself in an elevator gone crazy.
Suddenly it just starts banging up and down. So I push the stop button.
Right.
The alarm goes on. The people at the desk say, just release the brake. It'll straighten itself out.
Release the brake?
So I go, fine. I pull the thing back out. Bam, 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 bam. After first I hit it again.
Stone says she used her cell phone to call her husband, and he then called 911 for help. And that's how Baraka and his rescue squad got there.
There were all these, bells and whistles going off to indicate that there was a stuck elevator. And of course, at that point, it was our duty to go and find out how we can get her out.
But it got much worse before it got better. Stone says that once the rescue units and the elevator expert were assembled, they asked her to release the emergency brake. She did. And just like in the movie Speed, the elevator plunged. Stone says it dropped a terrifying 10 stories.
So I'm screaming and hitting it, pulling it, hitting, pulling, hitting, pulling. Finally, it stops.
Well, that whole thing put her on the 20th floor. Getting her out was complicated and dangerous because Sharon Stone was caught in an express elevator. There were no doors between the 37th and the first floor.
We had to take the elevator that was beside her elevator up to the floor that she was stuck on. We had to climb to the top of after we had stopped on the floor that she was on, we had to climb through the top of the elevator, go to her elevator, open her escape hatch, climb down into her elevator.
Baraka says that Stone was then lifted to the top of her elevator and taken across to the firefighters' elevator, where an anxious Phil Bronstein was waiting.
She was excited. She hugged her husband.
Later, she sent the heroes a huge basket of goodies and this thank you card. And by the time she spoke with Jay Leno, she'd recovered enough to joke about the ordeal that she shared with another woman in the elevator.
We prayed together. Then we laid on the floor, talked about our husbands,
Firefighter Baraka tells Extra that Sharon had complained to the building manager about the elevator twice in writing before this incident.